Hey guys, Travis here from ChordBuddy. I have never done a YouTube live before. Been doing some Facebook lives, but first time doing a YouTube live. So what I'm going to talk about today, and I have got this question when I was teaching guitar. I've got it once ChordBuddy came out. Several places people are always interested in. And I'm going to discuss it. May seem very simple, but it's how to play the G chord. So the first way that you can play it, actually I'm going to show you four ways. And obviously, if I were using a ChordBuddy, you'd press the blue button with your pinky finger, and it would make the chord. But there's four other ways I'd like to talk about. Usually when people start learning, if they don't have a ChordBuddy, you can play a G chord by strumming the bottom four strings, putting your ring finger on the 3rd fret E string, and strum the bottom four strings. I'm strumming the bottom four strings. Okay, so that gets you most of a G chord. Excuse me. The next way, and this is the first way that I learned to play it, was to take your thumb, and I wouldn't recommend playing it this way. I'm just showing you it's the way that my mother showed me to play it. Put your thumb on the 3rd fret, wrap it around the neck, and your ring finger on the bottom string. And now, if you do it this way, and I wouldn't do it this way, okay, but if you made it this way, you have to skip the 5th string. That string, you can't touch it. So you would pick the 6 and strum the bottom 4. Again, not a good way to make it. Now to the two ways that I would prefer you make it. And there's one better than the other one in my opinion. Okay? The way a lot of people make it, and I made it this way for a long time. I don't make it this way now unless I'm making a modified G, which is called the bluegrass G. But the regular string, and you put your ring finger on the bottom string, 3rd fret. Okay? Now, that's the third way to make the G chord. The fourth way, in the way that I recommend that you make the G chord, is this way. Okay? And that is, take your ring finger and put on the top string, which is the E string, 3rd fret, your middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and your pinky. Got to get your pinky involved, guys. Sooner or later, you got to get your pinky involved, so go ahead and start doing that now. Pinky on the bottom string, the E string, 3rd fret, okay? Why do you make it this way? Why is this my preferred method? Here is why. Typically, a lot of times, I'd say 70 to 80% of the times, you can go from a G to a G7 and then to your C chord. So if you're doing that, you go from a G to a G7. All you do to make the G7 is take your pointer finger, put it on the 1st fret, 1st string, and pick your pinky off. So let's hear how that goes. Now change to G7. And then to go to your C chord, which is typically where you would go, I hope we're reconnecting. Okay, maybe we're live again. Again, first time doing this. I don't even know if it's going out or not. But anyway, I was showing I just made the G7, and then to go to the C, which is typically where you would go after the G or G7. You take these two fingers and lower them a string apiece, raise this one a string, and you're to the C chord. So again, you're at a G7. To go to C, lower these two a string apiece, and raise that one a string, you're to a C. So let me do a demonstration. If we're doing Amazing Grace, and I'm going to go to the G from the G to the C first. Amazing grace, how the sound. Okay, now I'm going to go to the G7. Amazing grace, how sweet. See how much better that sounded to go to the G7? So that's why I teach this chord. One of the reasons, there's another good reason. You go from here to the G7, and then it's an easy jump to make the C chord. Another reason I like to make this chord is you can do this move right here that's used a lot. So that's a G, and then you're making this part of a C chord, which is the second string, first fret, second fret, fourth string, but you're keeping these where they were. If you remember the dueling banjos, at the beginning of that song, it goes. See, that's like. So instead of going to the full C, G to C, you can do that move. Okay, so that's another reason. And then that move, I'm telling you, is used like in Garth Brooks' song. I think it's "Tomorrow Never Comes." See how pretty that is? So we've covered the 4 ways to make a G chord. The last one is the way that I really, really, really prefer that you would make it. And let me tell you, if you'll start making that now, if you're making it this way now, just concentrate on start going to that. You will be so proud of yourself and glad that you did it, because you'll be able to go to the G7. See, if you're making this chord, to go to a G7, you've got to change all 3 fingers. You've got to go from here and move everything. But if you're here, all you do is remove the pinky and add the index, and you're there. So much easier. All right, so guys, I'm going to wind this up for my first YouTube Live. If you liked it, please comment and subscribe to our channel if you're seeing this. Our channel is all about helping you learn to play the guitar and answering any questions that you may have. All right, I'm Travis, and I'll catch you in the next one.